Hello and welcome to the Wild Stride. Today we take on 3 Munros. Now you may think taking on 3 Munros in a single day is a massive challenge, but it's not. You see, you climb most Munros at sea level, then you have to shed blood, sweat and tears to reach 3,000 feet, the classification of a Munro. But here, the car park sits at 650 metres, meaning there's only 270 metres left to climb. We've basically driven up 2/3 already, so really it's more of a drive-through Munro-bag. It's just a shame we can't drive all the way up to the top. My legs are not feeling it today. Now that's not to say that this is going to be a stroll in the park. If there's one thing I've learned, that's to never underestimate a Monroe. We'll still be covering over 15 kilometres and it should take us around 5 to 6 hours to complete. So our first Monroe is 917 metres, Carn Aosda, meaning the ancient rocky hill. A really interesting fact of how this Monroe got its name is because it's a hill, it's rocky and it's ancient. Well, that's Monroe 25 in the bag. And that took us exactly 34 minutes. And I must say, putting yourself through these kind of challenges with these sort of views, it makes it so worthwhile. So disappointing. We're actually only like a couple of metres from being above the clouds. It's just not going to be our day for the views. We made great time with that one. The first Monroe of the day is in the bag. But now, in order to get the second Monroe, we have to only take a 6-kilometre stroll to get there. It's a ptarmigan. Let's see how close I can get. Ah, well, there's 2 of them. Didn't even know there was 2, they camouflaged that well. Oh, they're masters of camouflage. They're the exact same colour of the heather in autumn time. A wee break in the cloud reveals our first Monroe there, and that actually shows you a perfect trail that we took all the way along here until we've got to this point. Good job I was paying attention. For once I actually spotted the path that we need to take to get to the second Monroe. So we're on this not so very well defined path. We've just hit kilometre number 5, so we just have 1 more kilometre to do before we bag our second Monroe, which does stand at 975 metres, Carn Aosda, which means rocky hill of the goose. Because we're in the clouds, my hair is wet because of the moisture in the air. It's making my head all cold. It isn't actually that cold. It's only about 9 degrees at the moment. But it's with this wind and being in the clouds, it makes it awful chilly. The hat's off again. Oh, I'm too warm. And here is our very misty number 6 Monroe. Here we go. Right, we've got this lovely little stone wall to block the wind, and it's time to have something to eat. Food time. Oh no, I think something is leaking. I've got tuna pasta with me, but I don't know why, but the mayonnaise is so watery and it's went all over the bottom of the bag. I have one of my favourite trail snacks, chorizo, and it's one of Obi's favourite too. There you go. Got a bag full of leftover Halloween treats. $26 in the bag. We're now making our way back to the main trail. Just another 3 kilometres till we get there. It's just a bit of a shame that the clouds are not going to be budging anytime soon by the looks of it. But, you know, that happens, what you going to do? Me and Obi ain't no strangers to the bad weather. And this isn't exactly bad, it's just inconvenient. And now we begin to go up the third and final Monroe. We've done pretty much all of the 3 kilometres from the second, and now heading up the third and final. It's a bit of a scramble in this one. Oh, nice. Well, there's no clouds on the other side. Not anymore, not the bit we came up. But it's just the first Monroe we done there. And there's no clouds whatsoever now. I've just realised something. If I came here in skiing season, all of the ski lifts would be operational and I wouldn't have had to walk up. I mean, that would be cheating technically, but you know, who would care? There's actually a ski lift that goes directly to the top of our third Monroe. I mean, that would have been ideal. On that ski slope there, where you can just make out that wee building that sits there. Now, I actually do ski. I don't ski, I snowboard because I'm cool, of course. But when I was like 12 years old, I fell very awkwardly going down that exact slope over there. And I felt pins and needles in my legs. And there was one of those rescue people that came to me and he said, "Are you okay?" And I said no. And then what happened, I ended up in the back of an ambulance for 4 hours to Aberdeen Royal Infirmary because they thought I broke my back. I was actually completely fine and it was a total waste of everybody's time. True story. See what I mean? I could have just came up here via the chair, just climbed only up there, and then it would have been easy peasy. Oh, I should really use my brain a bit more than I actually do. Oh, there's one of those little thingamabobs. Tell you all the different Monroes around here. The Cairnwell chairlift viewpoint. It is a rather nice view. Just before we get to the top, this is like the steepest and most dangerous slope. Oh look, wee bunny, or a hare. It's got its wee winter coat on. Look at it. It's perched on the rock. But as I was saying, this is the steepest slope in the ski centre. I believe it's called the Eiger or Tiger, I can't really remember. But that's the slope you go down, I believe. It's quite steep, quite mental. I've never been on it. If I did go on this one, I would most definitely this time break my back. That's cool, look at the geology of the rocks, where obviously they're supposed to be sitting horizontally, but of course they're sitting vertically. That's cool. Well, there isn't really a trig point on the top of this one really. Just a building, but this is kind of the top, the highest point, and that's number 27. I had to think there. I'm starting to lose count. I would feel wrong not to touch some sort of trig point. So there we have it, 3 Monroes in one day. back at the wee viewpoint, and it's time for lunch. I got me some tuna paste. Well, that was a nice spot to have lunch. That's me done. So here in Glenshee, we've done the 3 Munros on the western side of the road. The road is called Old Military Road. There's a slight better view of it, but on the eastern side of that road, there's a couple of Munros in there that we can come back and do. Oh, I like that. It's a bench made of skis. That's quite neat. Love that. That was a very successful adventure. 3rd Monroe ticked off, the Cairnwel done and dusted. That was 933 metres, and the name of that Monroe actually translates into the Hill of Bags, which is quite fitting with bagging Munros. There you go. That, I'm sure that there, not that one, but the one below is a golden eagle, I think. Both of them might be. I think they are eagles. I don't know what kind of eagles though. I thought it was going to be so much colder than it actually was today. It's about 10 degrees for the most part, but this fleece has been brilliant. I didn't even have to wear a jacket at all. That's all for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like and subscribe. I post new hikes and wild camps every Saturday. Until next time, this has been the Wild Stride.